Hello, thank you for taking the time to watch this special DVD. I'm Stephen Clark, and I will be your narrator throughout this film. I was born in England with a severe bilateral hearing loss. However, my hearing loss is not a detriment to employment. I would like to share this video with employers like yourself who are considering hiring a person with a hearing loss.
Okay, presentation now, and tomorrow's communication. Hi, my name's Steve. I'm grocery manager at Thrifty Foods. I've worked with Jamie for the last 2 years, and he's been a valuable member of the Thrifty Food team for the last 10. Jamie's worked his way up from working in our dairy and freezer section, working from part-time to full-time, and just recently being promoted to a full-time supervisor at our Cloverdale location. Jamie's keen eye for customer service through visual expressions, hand gestures, and good old pen and paper is Jamie's effective way to communicate with our customers. I'm very proud to have Jamie a part of my team and a team member for Thrifty Foods.
Hi, my name is Jay, and I'm a bakery manager at Thrifty Foods. We've had the opportunity to work with many people who are deaf or hard of hearing. Take Melanie, for example. She is a baker's assistant, and she's deaf. With the aid of a vibrating timer, a pen and paper, and language interpreting when needed for in-depth training, communication is seamless and fun. As an employer, we have gained a great employee and a valuable asset to our team.
It's great having a multitude of skills. I enjoy working with the big boys' toys. Let me introduce you to another employer, Morrison Foods.
Hi, I'm Rod Hood. I'm the production manager for Morrison Food Services. We have the contract through Compass Group for the South Island hospitals. Early last winter, I was introduced to Juliet, and I think it was last February. Brought her in for an initial interview with a translator. Juliet interviewed very well, and I immediately brought her into the workforce. She started off in tray line, and then eventually she moved to our warewash division, and she's been working with us full-time for the last 8 or 9 months, and I have to say she's a stellar employee. The one thing that Juliet brings to the team that's been just excellent for the group as a whole is that she is so enthusiastic and so delighted to be working that rubs off on the rest of the team. It raises the bar. It sets a different standard for work attitude and ethic that filters through the rest of the warewash team.
I've been a national lifeguard for over 7 years. I'll save you. I'll save you. Man, that's cold. During that time, I have saved over a dozen lives. Wow, it's time for me to come back to reality. Let me introduce you to another employer.
Wendy's been with the department for 12 years now. She's been 5 years with All Day Security Canada Pension Plan, doing the job that she's currently doing. Wendy's made it really easy for me to be a team leader. She comes and chats with me. We have one-on-one conversations, and her enthusiasm at times is very infectious. And since I've come here, we've added a few more pieces of technology to help with the day-to-day tasks. Wendy now has access to a telephone that is a TELUS relay phone. It lights up when she gets a call, so that's extremely helpful to her. We've also added MSN onto our computer so that I can have an immediate chat with Wendy. She can have an immediate chat with me. If there was one thing I wanted to say to an employer who is considering hiring a hard of hearing or a deaf employee, deaf person, it would be that communication will not be the issue so long as you have an open mind to a diverse workforce.
Searching all over calculating it up, and then there we go. That's where I go now.
I'm Hugh Mitchell. I'm the office manager / controller at Vancouver Island Brewery, and I started with this company about 22 years ago, and I was a normal hearing person at that time. But over the last 15 years or so, my hearing has got worse to the point where hearing aids were no longer of any use to me. So I was the lucky recipient of a cochlear implant about 4 years ago. In my case, as my hearing decreased, it became impossible for me to use the telephone. So we had to modify office procedures a little bit. The receptionists were instructed that if anyone wanted to talk to me, they would give them my email address and they would send me an email. This is where technology has really helped the hard of hearing person a lot. Email is great and we use it an awful lot. Employing a hard of hearing person is no big deal. He's just as good an employee as the next guy. He just has a little trouble hearing.
That's it. I'm out of here.
At the end of the day, all that's really needed is a little consideration and effort. And really, that doesn't cost a cent.
Marissa joined our classroom at the end of October. We were partway into the school year. Marissa works with one child specifically, but also with several other children and with a small reading group. I didn't notice any sort of impairment at all. I didn't know she was hearing impaired until she told me after she'd been here maybe 3 or 4 weeks. So obviously there were no difficulties with her being integrated into the class with us. I don't think the children picked up on her having any impairment with hearing either. There don't seem to be any barriers. She's doing just fine, fitting right in with the class. I feel very fortunate to have Marissa in my classroom. She's just excellent with the students and excellent to work with. She's been a godsend.
I have served an apprenticeship for 4 years to become a journeyman plumber. I own a plumbing business for the past 15 years. I also have a gas ticket, cross connection control, and steam fitters ticket. Let me introduce you to another employer, Metro Recycling and Waste.
Hi, I'm Doug Stevens, plant manager of Metro Waste Paper Recovery. I've been working with Hank Wagensfeld for the past 12 years. Hank is a sorter, forklift operator, bobcat operator, does various different things around the plant for me. Harlan's worked for me for the past 2 years as a sorter on our fiber line. Both employees are very efficient, safe workers. Although we don't have any real communication skills, we don't use sign language, all the communications that are given to Hank and Harlan are accepted very well. They clearly understand the tasks that are at hand and perform their tasks flawlessly. They also work with 30 other people in the plant, various different operators, sorters in the plant, again communicating very well with all of them. So when we come to hiring deaf and hard of hearing people, their hearing impairment is one of the last things that we consider. Like any other worker, we look at the values and qualities they bring to the table as workers.
I was a volunteer firefighter for 6 years. I enjoy supporting my community and helping others. Let me introduce you to Scout Plastics.
Hello, my name is Matt Kerr. I'm the production manager here at Scott Plastics. Larry's worked for us for, I guess it's around 15 years now, under my supervision for roughly 2 years. He worked in the molding division for 13 years and then moved on to the production area where we produce and package up all of our Scotty and Fishing Marine products. On the production floor, we haven't had to do any modifications of any sort for Larry. He pretty much adapts to any circumstance or any situation we put him in. He never asks for any special treatment of any sort, so we just make sure that we show him what he's doing properly, and he continues on and does a heck of a job.
Larry's been working with me for 1.5 years in packaging. He works on the blister machine beside me. I enjoy working with Larry. He's got a great sense of humor. He notices things that are wrong. If we have headers that aren't quite right, he catches on. He's got a very good eye. He misses very little work. He's on time every day, and I enjoy working with him very much.
I hope you enjoyed watching this film. As an employer, you can be a part of creating an inclusive lifestyle for the community we serve. I hope that by watching this film, it has increased your consideration to hiring a person with a hearing loss. Give us a call at Island Deaf and Hard of Hearing Centre and talk to one of our employment counselors. After all, look at the goals I scored.
Hi, my name's John Jordan. I'm a lawyer. I've been practicing for 20 years here in Victoria. It wasn't always that way, though.
Hello, my name is Jim Lutkin. I'm a public servant with the BC government.
My name is Mike Hayes. I'm an independent contractor. I do consulting work in the human resource field.
About 25 years ago, I was in a serious motor vehicle accident, suffered a fractured skull, and lost virtually all my hearing.
I started to lose my hearing in my mid-40s, and as a school teacher and later as a union president, you can imagine that my hearing is extremely important.
I was not always a public servant. About 10 years ago, I was a forensic psychologist in Edmonton, Alberta. A late onset hearing loss ended my career as a psychologist. It was devastating.
The telephone's always been a challenge for people with hearing disabilities. And I've just recently upgraded my hearing aids to a Bluetooth compatible system. So I have my BlackBerry, but I also have this little device which allows the BlackBerry to talk directly to my hearing aids. So I'm hearing more clearly. It's tremendous.
And I would encourage all employers to look with an open mind at people who are hearing impaired and or deaf, because they are every bit as competent as the hearing public.
There's a lot of untapped ability out there in the deaf and hard of hearing community. Don't be afraid to hire a deaf or hard of hearing person. Honestly, it's no huge inconvenience to hire a deaf or hard of hearing person. Island Deaf and Hard of Hearing will make it easy for you. Thank you.